After the disappointment of the FA Cup, we returned to league action against 20th place Curzon Ashton, where, in less than convincing fashion, we was able to pick up a 2-1 victory, before then also beating 16th place side Kettering 1-0 at home. The third game then saw us return to cup action as we played in the FA Trophy second round, as we went where? Well, to where we picked up a 7-0 victory, thanks to 3 from Heaney, 2 from Dyson and a goal from Beckham Willoughby. Welcome everyone to the Notebook, where we have 3 big bits of news to catch up on here today. Now, this segment was going to be the initial intro segment. Unfortunately, though, one of the bits of news actually pertains to one of the games we played in our catch-up. Now, the question is, what are those 3 big bits of news? Well, the first one is a bit of news we previously went over, and that is Ryan Whitley. He's having a bad time over in Scarborough. He was promised as an important player, hence why we loaned him out to them. The manager hasn't been doing that. We have talked to the manager yet again. Again, he has promised to give him the required game time. Hopefully this time he means it. Ryan Whitley, thus far, his time in Scarborough, has had 4 appearances, 4 conceded in the league, 1 clean sheet, 1 player of the match, and a 6.93 average rating. In terms of the cup, 1 appearances, conceded 2, and an average rating of 7. The fact that he's got an average rating of 7 and conceded 2 in that one game suggests to me it isn't only him that's struggling, it's the entire Scarborough team, and he is actually being used as pretty much a scapegoat. So that is the Ryan Whitley bit of news. The next one is even bigger. Woods has handed in a transfer request, and I do not blame him. Michael Woods, you deserve to be playing in a starting lineup. You are a starting player for us according to your contract, but you're just not as good as our central midfielders. That is just plain and simple. So he handed in a transfer request, we have accepted it, and he is hopefully going to be on his way out at some point. At 3-star potential though, and £750 per week, I think we can do better. He's 31 years of age, he is past his prime, and yes, I think £750 per week for a guy who's going to be occasionally sitting on our bench if he's lucky, it's just bad all round. It's bad for him, bad for his development, bad for us as a club financially. Hopefully, Woods is out the door. Probably in the January transfer window. The next bit of news is York record the biggest ever win. Not our biggest ever win, but the biggest ever win in the FA Trophy. And that, of course, was the 7-0 win against Ware. Yes, Ware. Where is Ware? I don't know where Ware is, but Ware is in Ware. And without further ado, it is time to go and get on with our FA Trophy as we do the draw for the 3rd round. The draw for the FA Trophy 3rd round is upon us. There is 73 teams going into the hat, but only one shall verse us. And the question is, who will that be? Well, let's head on inside. Let's draw all the teams so we aren't here all day. And without further ado, our team for the 3rd round of the FA Trophy shall be Wrexham. We've got Wrexham. Of all the teams, we've got National League side Wrexham. Those of you who don't know, of course, Wrexham have quite a bit of money to splash, so this is going to be a difficult one. I don't know who's in their team, I don't know who they've kept, don't know who they've brought in, but let's have a little look. Phil Parkinson, by the way, as a manager, that's just tough in itself. And yeah, Tozer and Hayden already. Let's have a little look at their transfers. I'm curious to their transfers, at least the new ones that the game has acquired. So, there has been a little bit of an influx since they came in. They, of course, bought Tozer for 200k from Cheltenham, which is a nice little bit of business from them. But let's just do this by a fee. If we go to the bottom, 200k, 100k, 20, 13, 11. They have spent 350k and they haven't got a single penny back thus far, as all of these left on free transfers and 1 player loaned out. Wrexham's going to be a difficult challenge. They're only 4th in the league, which is surprising that they're only 4th in the league. 9-4. Seriously? So lost to Kings Lynn, Torquay, Stockport and Woking. Now, if we have a little look at the table, you will see Torquay is down in 18th, Kings Lynn is 13th, Stockport is currently top of the league, so that's not surprising, and Woking, who won 2-1, is down in 15th. Okay, so Wrexham is going to be a hard game, but looking at those results, they aren't unbeatable. We might be able to pick something up in that one, but speaking of picking things up, we now need to head away to Guiseley. So let's head on over to Guiseley right now. Welcome everyone to Nevermore Park, home of third place Guiseley AFC. As we enter the Lions' Den here today, we have both the manager of the month in myself and the player of the month in Beck. This is going to be a big one. It's going to be a scrap both for playoff places or perhaps even that automatic promotion. And, well, the weather is not going to stick like this. So, without further ado, let's head on into the dressing room. Okay everyone, so as you can see the team sheet is out and we are at full strength for today's game. I'm not going to go through the names on the team sheet, you all know who the usual suspects are, but let's head on into the dressing room and already Clayton Donaldson is looking complacent. That's a weird thing to see as we come into the dressing room, but we are going to punch fists. We are going to motivate the lads here today. The media have given us a lot of credit lately, so go out there and put on a worthy display. I think that's a reasonable team talk. Let's go with it. That has motivated Donaldson. It's also motivated Gibson, Ducksworth and Jameson. But will that be enough to pick up a victory here today? Well, let's skip the walkout. Let's find out. We are of course going to kick off with a nice little kick-off highlight here today, and as you can see I've even mixed up the camera angles. We've changed things up and I think this might be better going forward. It's a little more actiony, it's less static. I like the movement of the TV camera. If you find ladies and gents don't, then I can perhaps change it back, but I've been enjoying it for the past couple of games as I've checked it out, so for today's episode, at least, we shall be using it. Now, Cantrell with the free kick goes near post. Jameson, lovely save from him. And that was the end of that. Heaney, though, free kick, goes back post, doesn't get to field him, but Dyson will collect this one. Now, I still have a bit of a cold, so if I have to pause it, I apologise, but hopefully my drinks will allow me to get through it. A little bit of a dry throat. Ball up to Donaldson though. Oh, Donaldson from range forces a save. And we have a corner here on the 10th minute. Heaney will be the one to deliver it here on the right hand side. Goes near post. Dyson can't get onto it. And Hull will nod it away. So back over to this right hand corner flag for Heaney. He will attempt a corner for the second time. This time goes back post. Hull again nods it away. Cantrell will nod it further away. And Guiseley have avoided the danger. They have their own corner, in fact, here on the left-hand side. Cantrell will be the one to take it. We've got a player on the near and far post, though. It's nodded away by O'Keefe. O'Keefe tries to get to Donaldson. Milner, though. Miller. And it's poked away by Jameson. Now, I apologise for that bang below if you could hear it. I could feel it, so if I can feel it, you can probably hear it on the microphone. But Cantrell with the corner once more, whips one in, nodded away. Nicholson will collect it here on the left-hand side. He comes at them, and that's the end of that. That was a rather dull end to the highlights. Newton, though, to right. It's now played up to Beck. Beck has plays ahead of him. He gets it up to Dyson. Dyson has an overlapping Ducksworth. He will use him, in fact. Will he pull it back? No, he's going to whip it across back post. Heaney got space. Free header. Savita will collect this one, and we remain 0-0 in today's game. Guiseley, though, up to second place, have now leapfrogged File and so have Gateshead. Gateshead moving up to third place, so I guess they are currently losing at the moment. Beck, though, Beck will come at them. He has support behind him in Dyson, pulls it back for Dyson. Dyson now coming on this right-hand side, pulls it all the way back to Ducksworth. Ball back up to Beck. He gets it over to O'Keefe. O'Keefe inside to Fielding. Fielding on the halfway line gets it to Newton in this centre circle right now. Building on this left-hand side with Heaney. Heaney has a player behind him if he wishes to pull it back to Gibson. Or perhaps he'll just go alone. No, he's going to go alone. Whips it in from the corner flag. Beck unfortunately didn't place his header in the corner, and it is punched out for a corner. And now, can Heaney deliver? this time. Third time is the charm. Back post, back off the crossbar. We are putting them under pressure, but we are not capitalising. Alfreton, by the way, 1-0 up against Curzon Ashton after 2 minutes. Boston game is 1-1 away to Kettering, as Kettering have gone and got an equaliser. Charlie 1-0 at home to Darlington, and I didn't see what that other game was, but I think there is another game where there is a goal as well. Newton, though, will nod it down for right at the moment. It's played over to this left-hand side where Heaney will find Gibson in plenty of space. Now, can Gibson make use of it as he makes a run down this left-hand side? In fact, he's pulling it back for right. Right will whip in the cross, and Donaldson doesn't get it. It falls out to O'Keefe, though. He gets it to Ducksworth, who thinks he's a striker. But you're not Ducksworth. Just play another ball back in. You are our right back after all. And yes, there is another goal. Kidderminster is 1-0 up against Farsley. Charlie's now gone 2-0 up, and Chesterfield is 1-0 up against the Leamingtons of Spa. So, that's our goals thus far in the league, but in this one, we head into half-time 0-0. 10 shots to their 2, 4 on target to their 2. The XG is 0.67 to their 0.29. We need to do more with the ball. As you can see, 91% passing to 88, but only 49% possession to their 51. We do need to start being a bit better with the ball. So, we've been the better team here. You know what? How are our ratings? Everyone's doing okay apart from Ollie Dyson. Yes. So, we've been the better team here. Just keep doing what you're doing and we'll be fine. You know what? That is pretty reasonable. That's a pretty reasonable shout. Ducksworth, I don't know how that's made you nervous, but that is a pretty reasonable shout. We haven't been particularly bad. We just haven't had any of them end up in the back of the net. Their goalkeeper has played pretty decent. We could have been better with some of our finishes. A lot of shots have gone flying over the bar. We have only, of course, got 4 on target out of our 10, compared to them, who I believe have got... No, I'm thinking of something else. I think they have got like 2 out of 4 on target. So, Ducksworth, right hand side, plays one up to Dyson. It's inset by Hancock, up to Nicholson, 2 in 2. I apologise, Geisley. You've got all your shots on target. 2 out of 2. Heaney, ball up to Spencer. Spencer nods it away to Heaney. Heaney will collect it and come down this left-hand side. Heaney now plays it back to Fielding. Fielding inside to Newton. Newton gets space. Oh, Newton. Captain, oh captain. Unfortunately, though, that was high, wide, and not at all handsome. So... it's throwing here on the left-hand side. Gibson will be the one to take. Heaney will collect it, plays it back to Gibson, whips it in. Beck, oh, come on, Mark. Mark Beck, 15th goal of the season. That was a lovely cross from our left-back, Gibson, and an even better bullet header of a finish from Mark Beck. But... let's have a little look at this one once again. Heaney pulling it back for Gibson, whips it in. He was double marked. That was great from Mark to get that header off, especially with the 2 men marking in. But not enough. Maybe they needed a third. Hull, though, will take the free kick here on the right-hand side for Geisley. They are trying to pull one back here. Hull on the halfway line, pulls it across to Hancock. Hancock up to Cantrell. Cantrell will play ball through to Ekpolo. Ekpolo up to Gratton. Gratton's got an overlap in Jeffrey. Jeffrey does have a bit of a knock, but not too much of a knock, as he remains on the pitch and forces a save from Jameson. But to take the corner shall be Cantrell here on this left-hand side, and can Geisley pull a goal back in this one? Newton gets to it at the back post and will just nod it out for a throwing. Now, as you can see, we are approaching substitution time, so keep an eye out for that. Right, plays it up to Heaney. Heaney inside to Beck. Beck up to Donaldson. Donaldson now plays it back up to Beck. Beck isn't going to get it though. Hull, in fact, gets it to Ekpolo, and it's back to Hancock. Hancock to Nicholson. Ekpolo, the space on this left-hand side, and Jeffrey has got past Ducksworth. But will anyone get into the box in support? That is the question. He tries to whip one across. Donaldson intercepts and plays it over to Dyson on this right-hand side. Dyson with the ball up to Beck. Beck now on the wing. Pulls it back for Ducksworth. O'Keefe, we are overloading this right-hand side right now. Fielding runs out the defence, gets to the halfway line, plays it short to Donaldson, back to Newton. Nice triangles in the middle of the pitch, but we need to work forward. Donaldson now up to Beck. Dyson's got an overlap in Donaldson. He finds him. Donaldson's being closed down quickly, though, and his shot is wide. And we shall probably be making a substitute after this highlight. as we throw one. Oh, sorry, we don't throw one in. We have a free kick. Heaney, back post. Civitar will punch it away. Dyson collects it though. Fielding from the edge of the area, goes all the way back to Ducksworth on the halfway line. Plays up to Newton, back to Gibson once more. Gibson now over to right up to Heaney. Heaney cuts inside perhaps. Plays it inside to Donaldson. Now with Dyson. Dyson to Beck. Beck from range forces a save. Heaney goes to collect it. And come on, Heaney. That is the spirit we like. Hunt the ball down until it is out of play. He runs on to the end of it. Poor job from the Guiseley goalkeeper. Should have collected it, or at least made sure it went off the pitch. Beck forcing it. Heaney runs on to the end of it, pokes it in at the near post. You should have probably even tightened that angle off even more. But we will take it, a 2-0 lead in this one. As you can see, Bradford Park Avenue has also gone 1-0 up in their game. Chester stays the same. Chorley has stayed the same. Alfreton has made it to thus far. Gateshead is 1-0 up against AFC Telford. Gloucester is 0-0 against Spennymoor. We are, of course, 2-0 up. 1-1 still in the Kettering game. And Kidderminster is now 2-0 up against Farsley. Now, let's go do some substitutes. Who needs substituting? As you can see, everyone's playing well, so we're really going to focus more on players on, say, yellow cards and players who are more tired. So, right, you are primed to go off, and you are going to go off for McLaughlin. So, McLaughlin shall be coming in central midfield. That will allow us to freshen up just a little bit. One of our free players, of course, on a 6.7, not having bad games, just not as good as the rest of the team, like Heaney on an 8.3 and an 8 for Beck. Now, are we going to make any more? That is the question. Ducksworth could do with a rest, possibly. So, Joe Crow, you know what? No. We're going to keep with the players we've got for now. I think as soon as we see players getting a bit more tired, we'll take 1 or 2 off, and that shall be it. But Civitar trying to build from the back for Guiseley here on the 67th minute. McLaughlin nods it down for Donaldson. Heaney's got an overlapping Gibson. Instead goes back to Paddy McLaughlin though. Paddy McLaughlin running at the defence, plays it short to Donaldson. Now over to Gibson on this left hand side. Gibson pulls it back perhaps. Yes, he does. Donaldson now up to Heaney. Gibson over to Paddy McLaughlin. Now with Newton on the halfway line. Newton over to Fielding. Fielding in the centre circle, gets it to O'Keefe. O'Keefe up to Dyson. Dyson's got an overlapping Ducksworth if he wishes to use him. Instead, though, I think he's just going to go himself on this right-hand side. He does. Whips it in. Back post. Free header for Heaney. Forces a save out of Civitar. And Nicholson will just hoof it out of play as we have just won ourselves a corner. Gateshead, 2-0 against Telford, by the way, thanks to Lewis Knight. And Kidderminster is now 3-0 as we miss a header from the corner. So, 70th minute. We are yet to really need to take anyone off. Ducksworth isn't playing as good as he previously was. He's dropped down to a 6.6, so perhaps we do take Ducksworth off in just a minute. Miller, though, Miller will hold possession on this right-hand side for Guiseley, plays it all the way back to Hull. Over to Hancock. Hancock now up to Cattrall. Cattrall over to Hull. He's going to play it back to Hancock once more. It's now with Civitar trying to build from the back, but the last time they tried to hoof it up from the back, I believe we intercepted it. And how are we going to do it this time? No, it's gone route 1 to Gratton. Gratton almost 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Our defensive line did a great job to get back, especially Fielding, who blocked the shot and has got them a corner. So, Kellett will now be the one to take the corner. He whips in near post. O'Keefe will nod it away. Spencer will collect this one though, as Donaldson does not put the effort in to try and get that ball. Ekpolo will play it short to Hull. Hull back to Spencer. Spencer now up to Miller. Miller coming down this right hand side. Is he going to get down there? Yes, he is. He's got past his man. Gibson let him run, but Gibson has closed the angle down and forced them to have a corner. 15 minutes remain in this one. O'Keefe and Ducksworth, I might start taking off now. I don't know if we've got another central midfielder to perhaps put in there right now. I guess we can move Fielding up if I wish, but right now it's nodded out. Spencer shall collect this one. Hull. And that is our moment. Our moment to make the substitute as we take Ducksworth off for Crow. I don't think we have. I think I might be able to pull Donaldson back. Don't really need to do it. We don't need to risk anything in this one. I think we stick with what we've got. We've got a substitute. If we pick up any injuries, we'll stick with the 2 out. I can move it off. the pause button and we can just enjoy the remainder of this game, the final 15 minutes plus additional. Heaney has found Gibson on the overlap and he's done a fantastic job to keep that ball in play. He plays it inside to Heaney. Heaney now back to Paddy McLaughlin, tries the ball over the top. Beck will nod it on, but no one is there. He's nodded it on to their defence and Civitar will just hoof it up. Gratton has now got behind our defence as both of them shuffled up. Thankfully though, Jameson has saved the bacon off both of our centre-backs in that instance. And again, Guiseley have a corner. Joe Crow now coming on for Michael Ducksworth. It's whipped in at the near post. Newton will nod it away. Cantrell will collect this one though and gets it back out to Kellett. Kellett's now cutting in from the right hand side, but he was offside. And we are going to get the ball. Tell Fielding to something. Didn't quite catch the end of it. All I caught was tell Fielding. Well, I can't tell Fielding because I don't know what to tell him. But 82nd minute. Route 1. Newton will intercept it but nods it back to Miller on this right hand side. He is closed down by Gibson though. Can he get a good cross in? Whips it in. Gratton with another effort as Jameson collects his header. And again, we don't have the opportunity to read it. As we have another highlight, Dawnson tried to get one through. It's intercepted but cleared away. Now Fielding with possession is going to run up to halfway line. Plays it short to O'Keefe. O'Keefe now to Dyson. Dyson getting a run down this right hand side once more. Perhaps pulls it back. No, he doesn't. He whips one in. Beck with a header. And the header just grazes the top of the net. Ooh. Okay, so tell Fielding to mark Jacob Gratton. That is a good shout. We shall do that. Gateshead is 2-1, by the way. That game's getting interesting real quick. Gloucester is currently 2-0 up against Spennymoor. Alfreton still 2-0, still 2-0, still 1-0. And Bradford Park Avenue is now drawing with Brackley. Brackley has managed to pull one back against Bradford Park Avenue. Paddy McLaughlin, though, on this left-hand side. Free kick, whips it. Oh, Donaldson forcing a brilliant save from Civitar, who has honestly kept the score down in this game. We could have had 3 or 4 goals pretty darn comfortably out of our 10 on target. But it's another save yet again. Now Newton here on the left hand side is going to run at Guiseley. He's got to the halfway line, plays it over to Gibson here in additional time. Now Paddy McLaughlin, Newton, Gibson just holding possession on this halfway line. Gibson tries the ball over the top but it won't get over to Heaney. Don't know where I got Hansen from. I guess it's because I was reading Hancock, but it's the end of the game. And the man of the match, or as the game likes to say, the best performer, is Mackenzie Heaney with that 8.3. Narrowly better than Beck with his 1 goal, 1 assist, and 8.1 rating in this one. As you can see, we were the better team. 22 shots to their 7, 10 on target to their 5, twice as many on target. 1.5 times the XG, better passing, slightly more possession after having less possession in the first half. We gave away 10 fouls, but they gave away 23, which is probably the thing that hurt them the most. But the question is, well done lads, but the question is, who are we going to verse in the next one? Well, I think we are going to do the FA Trophy game against Wrexham. It's probably going to be a painful one to watch, but I think it's going to be a good way of seeing exactly where we are. We didn't manage to beat Shrewsbury. We gave them a decent game. We've been running this league, as you can see, 42 points in 16 games. A nice 7-point gap. I can't math. 7-point gap with a 7-goal difference as well. We are doing great in the league, so we're definitely from the league above. I think we're at the standard of the league above. Wrexham is going to be a good litmus test of whereabouts we'll probably fall if we get promoted this season. But I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night and goodbye.